I take my outline of the fly, draw the hook and these lines here, the main body of feathers, of course, and the horns. Before I was even interested in art, I was interested in fishing. It was that simple. I can vividly remember days going out with my father, who cut down a small tree, and you tied a line on the end of the tree and put your worm on, and you went fishing. And probably the happiest fishing days I remember, traveling up in around Trout Creek and in around the Sussex area with my father and his friends and my brothers and so on. If I didn't have this type of background on there, the fly wouldn't look as if it was floating. It would just be an illustration on a plain background. When I hooked my first salmon, it was probably around, I would say about 15 pounds. I never did get a chance to weigh it because I never kept it. I couldn't bring it in because I was in a state of shock. And I actually stood there and watched my line go out, and this hand went numb. I didn't know what to do with this hand at all. I did regain my composure and started to reel it back in, and I got maybe 5 turns on the reel, and out it went again. Everyone that was on the pool stopped fishing and watched me. And I remember one comment from my father, who was watching all this go on. I had no idea he was standing behind me, and he said in a low voice to one of the other fishermen, "It's his first salmon." And it wasn't even, the words weren't out of his mouth when the salmon let go. Okay, I'll use this other fly that we haven't talked about here. Now, in this particular fly, I've taken what you might refer to as a full background. Okay, I have a river scene here, of course, where you can actually see the rocks in underneath the water type thing. I've taken the Durham Ranger. The colors are very subtle. The blue didn't quite print as well as the actual original. Although these two blues are the same on the print, on the original, they're not quite the same. I suppose once you've even hooked a fish, or once you've even had one on, like I did the first time, you're hooked for life. In here I've used the tippet feather, which is actually 2 different colors. As I got more interested in salmon fishing, and as I got more interested in the mechanics and the details of fly fishing, I took a course in fly tying. Now, that was with a man by the name of Warren Duncan. The first thing they did before any materials come out of the box was a 24 beer went on the table, and everyone had a beer. And we sat down and talked, and Warren gave a little demonstration of how to tie a buck bug, I think it was, of which I was amazed at how fast he tied, and amazed at how beautiful it looked. This is not quite the blue that you would normally find in blue chatterer, but it's the type of blue that I want. Now, when I saw Sid Glassow's fly in the Fly Fisherman magazine, being an artist, I decided before I try to tie this fly, as beautiful as it looked, I would try to draw it first. Now that drawing, or that watercolor that I did of the Rosy Dawn, I kept. It was the very first rendering that I did of a classic Atlantic salmon fly. This one is probably one of my favorites. the way that I washed that background in worked well when it came to the vibrant colors. And she said, Mr. Irving saw your painting. He would like to commission you, but we want to start off with at least 4 of the more popular flies. I was, of course, I was shocked. I had no idea that it would carry into this. The Green Highlander was the very first one. We moved from there to the Jock Scott, moved to a different type of background. I started to get into British watercolor backgrounds that were mixed with a pencil type thing. What I was trying to do was make a more subtle background and a more dynamic fly, and to separate the two. So I used a mixed media situation where I would paint a specific background in subdued colors and use my richer, more vibrant colors in the foreground. Okay. Now, since it's gone on from there, I've been doing fishing scenes, painting it, and pen drawings of Atlantic salmon flies, magazine illustration, anything related to or whatever with Atlantic salmon flies. And it really isn't going to stop from there. It goes on. The interest that the drawings have generated has been unbelievable. When I did my first rendering of, let's say, the Green Highlander, I thought that was the best I was going to be able to do. And I look back on that and say, yeah, that was a good effort, but I've changed my style and I've even gotten a little better. So, as if to say, probably the best answer I can give you is maybe 5 or 6 flies from now I'll have a favorite one, but no, I don't have a particular favorite yet, where everything all came together and I came out with what I think is the best that I can do. I'm still looking for the best drawing that I can possibly do in respect to the classic Atlantic salmon fly.